I'm Brad Edwards. Thank you for being with us. Well, have you ever thrown an event that went so bad you were put in prison? Probably not. But that's what happened to the creator of the Fyre Fest, a 2017 gathering that was billed as a luxurious music festival in the Bahamas. That luxury was met with haphazardly constructed tents, cheese sandwiches, and creator Billy McFarland spending 6 years in prison for fraud. Well, now he wants to do it again. Fyre Fest 2. That's right. He wanted to do it again, but this time for real. Real deal. Trust me, you kind of got to do. Joining me now, the man behind the greatest failed festival in the history of failed festivals, Billy McFarland. Mr. McFarland, thank you for joining us.
Brett, great to meet you. An even better pitch. I'm taking notes over here, so I'll improve for the next one.
You are a man of words, that's for sure. I guess first things first, you look good. You look fantastic. How was... Some people call it club fed. You spent a few years in the federal prison. It was a white-collar crime, so I guess it was kind of like they say white-collar crimes like a white-collar petting zoo. You look like you haven't aged at all.
So I was definitely served the famous cheese sandwich in jail a couple times, so lost some weight from that. Got a taste of my own medicine.
You look good. So the original incarnation of the Fyre Fest went up in smoke. It was going to be huge. Paradise, big stars. It was really Coachella in the Caribbean. What makes you think you can pull it off this time? And I mean, it's almost like why would you even want to?
So the difference this time is that I have one of the best festival companies in the U.S. who's doing all of the logistics and providing all of the support. And for me, this is finally the opportunity to share this vision of Fyre, which is bringing people from around the world together on an island with the rest of the world. I'm just so grateful to have incredible logistics support who can let me do me in the marketing side, but actually make sure everything is handled and delivered as promised.
So you're kind of just the front man. You got behind you an entire support system, an ecosystem that you did not have previously. Can we presume that?
Yes, and if anybody sees me trying to install a bathroom or set up a stage, please run away fast because things have definitely gone wrong. I'm staying far away from the areas where I need help and just focusing on connecting people, bringing them together, and sharing the initial Fyre vision with as many people as possible.
So you can't have a music festival without music. There were issues with bands dropping out last time. I mean, you did have some purported headliners. I feel like you've kind of got to put an asterisk by everything of the previous Fyre Festival because I don't know what was true and what wasn't. I saw, a great documentary on it. Clearly, there were some logistics and elements in place, but it all fell apart in dramatic fashion. So who would you hope to get this year? Have you booked anybody yet?
So we're hoping to have a mix of artists across all genres. And once again, we are partnered with one of the biggest music festival companies in the US. So they will ultimately decide who is booked. I can certainly throw some recommendations in the ring. But I think what's really interesting here is that Fyre 1 created this cultural moment because we had 400 of the most followed people in the world all post this orange tile at exactly the same time. And the approach now is a complete 180, where I think my job is to create this turbulence where you're not sure if I'm going to crash or land, but you'll have a front row seat and you won't get hurt along the way. I think if I can tell that story, we can create Fyre Festival 2 and make that a cultural moment as well.
Okay, so that's kind of part of the play here. It's like a gambling vacation where part of the gamble is the vacation itself almost. So let me be correct here.
Can't be too perfect. We need to have some adventure to it and some unknown. So when you get there, we'll have some tricks up our sleeves, but no promises.
So you don't have a location or date yet, right?
So this is all basically deferred to our partner, and we will come out at some point this year with a larger announcement announcing who the partner is and where the actual location is. So until then, I'm here to create turbulence and here to really share what Fyre is all about. And Fyre is about people getting on that single engine plane, not knowing where they're going, but then having the best 3 or 4 days of their lives.
I mean, can you name this mystery partner? It's not like Kevin Trudeau, right? That guy who was like the weight loss cure the government doesn't want you to talk about. Who is this mystical operator? Can you name them
I sure
yet?
hope not, but I'm scared enough that their PR department will find a way to come and get me in New York if I speak too soon. So I'll have to wait for the announcement commercial they're working on with them to drop that.
When is that going to drop?
It'll be this year.
Okay. But you say these pre-order tickets, you've already sold X amount, correct?
Yeah, so unlike last time where we had this really glitzy launch video with islands and boats and top talent, I took a single selfie video on a Sunday morning, released it on a Sunday night, and the pre-sale tickets sold out almost instantly. And I think that kind of speaks to marketing is all about doing things differently. And if we tried to recreate that moment for the first marketing video, it never would have been good enough. But now we're embracing this controversy, we're embracing the turbulence, and we're embracing the adventure. And I think that really speaks to the fans of the Fyre brand.
So how many tickets have you pre-sold?
So we put 100 pre-sale tickets up for $500 each, and those sold out very quickly.
So 100 times 500 is...
Maybe the math for 50K there. And
50K. So that 50K is now in escrow, you say?
Correct. It's in escrow with our ticket partner. I can't touch it. It's not being spent, and that will sit there. And we're not going to sell the next drop until we do so with the bigger partner in the fall.
Okay, so if I'm familiar with escrow, you can't touch it, but you could see it, right? Could you
I can
bring
see
up?
it.
Can you
it looks
bring
good, but I can't play with it. So
Can you show me the account? Can you show me $50,000?
Sure. Why not?
Oh,
You get the exclusive here.
Yeah, I mean, because the only issue is you kind of got a history of, not really being fully forward. We would obviously...
I'm doing this because of my good friend John Sarasani, who's a strategic advisor, Chicago native, and I guess John strong-armed me to giving the exclusive. So here's a screenshot from last Tuesday morning at 8:30, and the tickets went on sale Sunday, the day and a half before. So you can kind of see the 100 tickets, and then there's some fees and stuff, so it's a little over 45K. And the timestamp there is,
Wow.
Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it is actually, this is exclusive, right?
You got the exclusive.
So it is no longer just you say. You legitimately have dropped 100 tickets, and there's 45 grand right now in escrow. And we do want to thank one of our friends of the stream, John Sarasani, local football legend, who's helping advise you in some of this and having you on our show. So there you go. You got the money, and you can't touch it.
Can't touch it. But in reality, Fyre 2 is going to take tens of millions of dollars to execute, and the financials are all in our partner. So there is no need to touch this money. It's more of getting the key early supporters of our brand. We're going to host pop-ups around the country for them over the next year, get them together, and then we will do a much larger ticket sale for the rest of the Fyre 2 attendees.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket too, obviously. But have you noticed, because you've been so open about your deceit, your hopes that failed, and the fact that you failed, and that you did time. America loves nothing more than a comeback story. They love when someone comes clean, owns up, and then they love a comeback. Do you have that feeling? You've got that going for you?
It's really, really weird. I think some mornings I feel that people are rooting on the comeback, and some days, particularly after last week, people who lost my number for the past 6 years suddenly found it and, kind of scheming to try to get their hands in the pot here. So it's a kind of an awkward feeling where, I feel the snakes trying to strangle me, but at the same time, I feel like I do have support of some others who are rooting for me to keep going and try to make this happen.
I'm rooting for you. Billy McFarland, you remember, I'm rooting for you, so we want to have you on again, and we'll have our friend John on. John Sarasani, local Chicagoan, who's helping you, advise you in all of this. Billy McFarland, Fyre Fest felon. I'm going to drop that and eventually say Fyre Fest founder. once you get this 2.0 correct.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can change it all. It would certainly be the comeback story of some time. Billy McFarland, thank you for your time. Best wishes. Let's see how this thing goes.
Brett, thank you so much. Have a great day.